Okay. Ready. Hi guys. Welcome back. Sabi, you talk peoples. There's peoples.
And the peoples.
There's peoples.
How's the peoples?
People gonna watch it.
I know, but you could edit that out.
I can so. Okay, we're gonna start again. Why was my hi guys too like I bitch for you or something? Okay, anyways. See now I can't. Now I can't. Okay, you suck. Why? Would you throw me off my game?
Why don't you?
You throw me off my game.
Ready?
You're an idiot. Okay. Anyways, hi guys. Welcome back. So, in honor of us celebrating what 5 years together, right? 5 years together in what, like a week, a week or so. We decided to do. Okay, no, I decided that I wanted to come on and do a tag and just answer some questions that I constantly get about our marriage and everything. So I picked 10 questions out of a few that I picked out that I sent out on Instagram. So we're just gonna answer questions. The first one was, how did we meet?
Well,
And I think that one's a kind of a tricky one.
yeah. Like a lot of people nowadays, we met online, so
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. We met online.
that's it. Like that's the whole like grand
it.
story.
On
Online.
Facebook, like most people nowadays.
Randomly though.
Randomly.
That was. We had nobody in common. Like nobody.
I know, right? It's like a random
Nobody. Nobody. All right. Favorite thing we like to do together,
Favorite thing we like to do
other than sleep.
I know, precious
We
sleep.
like to sleep.
Think like whenever we go on like our random little trips, because it's always like the most randomest place that you don't even think about going to in that moment. It's just boom, like alright, come on, let's get up and go. We're gonna go here today. This is our plan. So I think that's like the funniest. I think that's like the best thing that I do.
Yeah, like when we don't plan them and we just go out and find something to do, like randomly. So. Now, this is a question that we get asked a million times over, literally by everybody, is when we're having kids. Literally, I think that's the question every single person, whether it's family, friends, people who follow you or me, or people who we've just known for a while, that's literally the question, is when we're having kids.
When we finish school.
my
logic is that I want to be in a good place financially and with like a stable job, steady income, to where I don't have to worry about providing for my family. My family does not need to worry about being provided for. I don't think that's such a bad idea.
No, I don't think it's a bad idea. Does someone have baby fever? I have severe baby fever, not gonna lie. I do. But I think realistically, on top of that answer, it's just gonna be whenever it happens. We can try and say we're gonna wait for school. Whenever it happens, whenever God lets us have children, we will have kids. I think that's just general answer for everybody. That's the answer we give everybody because it's truth. Or like when we're gonna finish school and whatnot. Another question that got asked a lot is, how do you handle my depression and anxiety? Because I've been very open with that on Instagram about my battles with depression and my anxiety. So a lot of the questions were, how do you handle that as a husband with me?
In all reality, like you kind of have to take it day by day. Like my personality is very, I want it now. I want things done a certain way, or like I want things to be fixed immediately. That's just my personality. That's how I am in my life. That's how I'm at work. If I see a problem, I fix it immediately because I know the answers. But with this, it's been like a curveball because I've had to learn to kind of take a step back and analyze the situation a little bit better because I don't always have the answer. I don't always have the magical words that I can say to her that are gonna fix her depression or that are gonna make her feel better in that exact moment. And a lot of the times it's just being a shoulder for her to cry on, or just being there for her, just to know that whatever she needs, whatever comes to mind, that I'll be here for her. And like for a lot of other people that are going through any sort of depression, anxiety, or any other thing like that, it's never easy, and it's something that, especially here in this country, that it's not talked about a lot because it's a very taboo thing to talk about.
There's a stigma with it.
Exactly. People think that, oh, you're just crazy. That why do you feel this way? And I admit it. I was like that when I first Like has when I
When,
first
when we
started,
first when we
yeah.
first went through it, because I wasn't that type of person when we first met. I was completely different in personality and everything that I was, and things happened and things transpired that kind of, I don't know, guys, threw that upon me. Not threw it upon me, that just created it or whatever else. And so it was difficult because it was new for him, it was new for me. It's not something I ever went through, it's not something he's ever dealt with one on one like that before. So it's something we both had to learn to go through together. Especially me being open with him and telling him when something's going on, or to be open enough to let him know it's just right now, it's just not the time. Like, I'm not in the mood for whatever it is that's going on. And I will say he's done very great in the past couple of years with me trying to grow through it and try to do what I have to do with it. So yeah, he's been a lot better, not better about it, but he's been more open to learning different ways to help me cope with it. I think it's the best way to say that.
Yeah, I'll say so.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, that's our topic. What was the other one? Best memories from you and I dating. Because we dated for like what, 3 years before we got married. We got married on our anniversary, which is August 5th. So we were together 3 years when we got married. 5 years altogether. Your best memory of us dating. I have mine. I have like my top ultimate favorite memory when we were dating.
My top favorite memory from when we were dating, I would have to say.
The same one I say. Watch.
No.
No.
I would have to say it's all like she would send me these random care packages.
Oh.
That were filled with my favorite candies, a random like cult movie,
random Star Wars crap.
And random Star Wars crap. And she would send me one every single month without fail. So like whenever I would get it that night, I would watch whatever movie she would send me, eat the candy, and then play with the Star Wars toys. And that was like that's how we communicated. Like that's how we like showed our love for each other. And
I think we forgot like the context of that, because when we were first dating, we weren't living in the same city.
Yeah.
I was down here in Rancho, he was up in Fresno, so it's 4.5 hour difference. So I didn't get to see him and date like normal couple. We were in a long distance relationship, and that's just, I don't know why I even did that. I think it was just random.
Yeah. Like it just continued like month by month. I would get a package.
Yeah, until I ended up moving up there.
Yep.
No, yeah. My favorite, like my absolute favorite memory is I think that was like the third time I had gone up there to go see you, and right you were still living at the house. Remember how we sat that? I think we had dropped off the kids and gone to John's Incredible Pizza, and we sat in my aunt's car, the green Honda, on the side of the street where you're like, as you go down your street to your house, that side street right there. Remember we sat there for like 6-7 hours, it's like just straight talking.
Right.
There was like no music, no nothing, just you and I talking the entire night. Like literally talking the entire night. And I think that's what solidified it for me, that this was for sure the guy I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, because we had talked about literally everything. I think like we got our like life stories out that entire night.
I think so.
Like no phones, no music, no nothing. Literally just me and him in a car talking. I think that's like my favorite memory. It was one of the first. I think it was one of the first visits.
Yeah.
It was like, I think the third time I'd gone up there to see you, and that's what we did. That was fun. More couples should do that more often, where they just sit and not like, no phones, no TV, no nothing, and just talk. I think every once in a while we have those nights where we just talk. We don't do anything. Not very often, because we sleep. We like to sleep. We're sleepy people. I like to sleep a lot. Pet peeves about each other.
My pet peeve about each other.
It's hard for me to pick one.
My pet peeve is when I'm excited about something and I'm like trying to get her into it, and then she just has like her like stink face, like just like staring at me like, oh, why are you excited for this? And I'm like, what the heck? Like, you know, like, whenever you're excited about something.
If I was to show you guys my closet right now, it'd be horrifically scary, because there's clothes everywhere. There's clothes, there's gym clothes everywhere, there's weights everywhere, there's all sorts of gym equipment everywhere, because he likes things clean, but just don't like to clean. And that seriously is probably, I think, my biggest pet peeve about you, is that you do not like to clean.
I do not like to clean.
You do not like to clean.
Well,
but you want things clean.
No, like.
No.
Yeah. I do clean. I do
No, you
clean.
tidy.
Uh,
You don't clean. You tidy.
okay.
He
Fine.
tidies. He doesn't clean. Don't let him tell you that he cleans. He doesn't clean. um, how do you and I resolve issues? Like,
Hmm.
I don't think there's a good answer for that for anybody, just because every couple's different. I think it depends on the issues.
I would say so. Like some issues is like you. Some issues we could just be like, you don't. You know what? Just rock paper scissors whatever. Like it's like when we want to go out and eat. It's like, what the hell do you want to eat? She doesn't
Like
know.
that
I don't
meme,
know. And then
that
it's
meme
like
from The Notebook.
exactly.
Where Noah's like, "What do you want?"
Exactly. It's like that with her. So like with those, it's like okay, just pick a
You
random
too.
place.
You too, though.
Issue solved. But for like deeper issues or things like that, like it's like sometimes you can't resolve things in one sitting. You kind of have to like just you know like wait on it or like kind of just
We sleep on it sometimes. A lot of the
yeah.
time, like we'll end like we won't end the conversation, but like we'll just end the night, and then the next morning, just while we're laying in bed, still just talk about it, and just while we're both calmer and not so irritated. I think that's the one negative about us, is that we're both hotheads. We both lose our temper very easily. We both get frustrated super easily. So sometimes a conversation, like even like an argument, can last about 5 minutes before we're like, okay, no, we're done, and not talk about it again. We'll just go to sleep, and the next morning when we're both just like calmer, we'll just talk it out again, and then we find an easier solution. But we try really hard not to go to bed so upset at each other. I think we try really hard not to. Obviously, it doesn't always happen because we're normal, and sometimes you can't always go to bed super in love with each other.
Yeah, and like with her, it's hard because then like
Did you say with me?
yeah,
Like,
it is hard with you because
me?
then like if we go to bed upset, then like I'll try to go to sleep. I'm just trying to. I'm tired. I'm trying to just sleep it off, and she'll sit there and kick me like on purpose.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you want? And then she like stays quiet. Then she'll kick me. And then I'm like, what do you want? And then until finally I get up out of bed. What the heck do you want? Why you keep kicking me? She's like, I'm not kicking you.
But that's my way of like breaking the ice and like getting us back to this.
I know, but I feel like you're being more passive aggressive. I'm like, what the hell? Stop kicking me. Go to sleep.
Yeah, I'm bad. I'm so bad with that. But it works. It works. I mean, the way we resolve our issues work for us.
Exactly. Like
you have to,
Like the way we resolve our issues is not going to be how every couple could resolve their issues. It depends on who you are, how your personalities are, who takes a predominant role. Sometimes it's the one that's leading the charge.
Or you're both fighting for the same leading role.
Exactly.
You can't have two leading roles in a relationship. You can't. It's not
and
realistic, I don't think.
True, but it doesn't always have to be like one person's the leader and the other one's a follower, and that's exactly how the dynamic needs to stay. Like there's a lot of give and take because there's some things that I take lead on, and there's a lot of things that she'll take lead on. So
all the grown up stuff.
But like, but in our reality, for I think for us, like yeah, like a lot of the grown up real life stuff. Like she likes to take a point on that because like that's how she is. She has the mentality of being on top of like things.
I have
like
a grown up mentality,
exactly.
As opposed to your I'm still young and free.
Like with me, like when I'm taking a lead, is like to make sure she doesn't just feel like such like an old lady. Like I make her have fun, or I'll have her try new things that she would never try on her own. Like when we went out shooting for the first time, that's something that she wouldn't have done ever on her own. But like now, I could say she's almost a better shot than me. So.
Watch. Okay.
So like, you usually need to find in your relationship what would work. Like in what situations, who needs to take a leadership role, and who needs to follow. And I like, especially if you're like a very like a strong person that likes to be the leader all the time. I think a good thing that you need to learn is when to take a step back and when to analyze the situation and know when the way you're trying to lead things may not always be correct.
Yeah.
So like that's the hard thing for me because at work I'm the leader. I'm the one that I want to take charge of every situation, and like sometimes like that same mentality at home doesn't work. I can't always be the leader. I don't always have the right answers, and it's always good to like be able to take a step back and realize that other people might have valid points as well.
And that's not something you just automatically create in your home. You have to
Work on
talk.
it.
You have to work on it and talk about it, and trial and error. Really, really, really. Like we, I think that we did that for a while. Like where you were the lead on some things, and it just did not work. Like it just did not work. And obviously, you have to do it with each other. You can't just assume the roles. You have to allow your partner to try and do certain things with you. And then if it doesn't work, then you find another way to do it within yourself, or you find ways to do that. And I think nowadays it's hard. I think it's harder for younger couples to do all of that because of the way that the world is, the way social media plays in the role of everything, and it's I feel like we have to go back to old school ways of handling marriages. Like, 'cause what did they do? They didn't just call things off the minute things went wrong. They fixed it. I plan on telling my grandkids and everything that we were together for like 80 something years. Well, and then he died, and then I lived my old life, my old woman life. What?
I'm gonna outlive you.
No, you're not. You're the one over here touching seals and sea lions and getting eaten alive.
But I'm gonna outlive you.
No. Alright, what attracted you to me and what attracted me to you? You had a cute smile. You still have a cute smile. It was a smile.
I think
No,
like
it was your smile. For me, it was your smile and the fact that you weren't like every other guy. You actually had a life plan for yourself. Like you had goals and ambitions lined up for yourself, and it was really hard to find a guy like that. I think we were only 20 when we met. He's a year younger than me. You were just gonna turn 21 when we met. I think we met the week of your 21st birthday.
I think so too.
And you had ambitions and goals for yourself, and I was like, oh my god, it's cute. That's attractive. That's attractive in an individual. In an individual. That's like a double negative or something.
Like, I would say it the same way. Like when I started talking to her, like I found that it wasn't just trying to talk to another girl. It was I'm talking to a young woman, someone I could actually have an intellectual conversation with, and not feel as if it was all parties and hooplas. It was all, we were actually able to have a conversation about like politics, about like healthcare,
Yeah.
like our opinions on certain philosophies and things like that. Like that's what made me fall in love with you. The fact that I could actually have a conversation with you. She has a brain.
Ah! Surprisingly. Most people don't know that. But what's actually funny? One of the conversations we did not have plays into the next question.
Mm-hmm.
Religion. We did not talk about religion. I don't know why. So one thing we did not discuss. Because many people know that we are actually two different religions, and wondering how we make that work in our home, having two different religions. And I think we don't talk about it realistically. We don't really discuss.
No, we don't.
I'm a Catholic. He is an Adventist. Obviously, they are on two different spectrums of the. I don't know. I don't say religious. I don't know what to say.
Like
that.
two different aspects of Christianity.
There you go. That's what I was trying. I don't see it. He just said I had a brain, and I couldn't figure that out. So, yeah. We make it work because we don't discuss it. I mean, I don't push my beliefs onto him. He doesn't push them onto me. We don't. It's not. I mean, it's a big deal, but it's not a big deal. If that makes any sense. Like, it doesn't bother me.
Like it's a big deal if you make it a big deal.
Yeah.
And I think that's and like looking back, like I do believe we should have had that talk a lot sooner.
Yeah.
But
I don't think we talked about it until we got engaged.
I know.
Because that's when we started planning the wedding. Is I think when we finally realized, oh wait.
Yeah. And for like any young couples that are like just dating or things like that, like I would suggest you guys do like talk about.
Last thing was, how did you know I was the one?
How did I know you were the one?
Yeah, I want to know that. Did you? Or do you still don't know?
No, I knew you were the one because, like, no matter how upset I would be at you, no matter what would be going on in our mind, if I thought, I'm done, let's break up, like, that thought never came into my mind. No matter how bad things would get, the thought of breaking up never came to my mind. And one day I just realized that though I couldn't go a day without talking to her, I couldn't go a day without seeing her, I couldn't spend any time apart, and I just knew right then and there that I spent the rest of my life with her.
Oh, you're so cute. I love you. I don't know. Am I supposed to answer the question too?
No.
Because mine, I don't know. Mine honestly wasn't. Were you kicking the camera?
I didn't kick the camera.
Mine wasn't after. I don't know. It's just I honestly think it was, and I say love at first sound because obviously I didn't meet him right away. When we first started talking, I think he messaged me on like a Saturday because I was at work, and then by that Monday, I think Monday Tuesday, he had called me like randomly at 6 o'clock in the morning. I happened to be awake. He called me, and literally the sound of his voice, just like I literally pictured my entire life with him. Like I literally just saw everything. Not that we had that life that I pictured, but I saw my life. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. But I think from the very beginning, I knew he was the one I was gonna be with. I honestly don't know why. It just something about you just literally sucked me into this little vortex that's called you, and it's kept me there forever. I have no idea why. Like seriously, that phone call like just did it in for me. No, he just had a really cute. He just had a really nice voice. It's just like, yeah. What am I trying to think of right now? No, I'm trying to think of like brainwashing. That's brainwashing. That's what I thought about. So stop it. Okay. And then we got multiple. I got multiple questions like asking what our best advice is for marriage. So I think we'll end the video with that. I don't know like the best advice because we don't have a perfect marriage. We're nowhere near perfect. No.
And in all reality, it's like whatever works for you guys. Like what works in one marriage is not gonna work in another. I guess the only piece of advice that I can like give is like don't go to bed upset. At least before you go to sleep every night, just remember why you love each other and don't go to bed upset because you don't want to wake up upset or God forbid someone passes in their sleep. You don't want to have the last memory be that you were upset.
Yeah.
So.
Or like don't ever just hang up a conversation upset. Don't ever leave
The
each
house
other's
upset,
side upset because you literally never know. Like you don't want your last thing to be to your spouse like whatever mean thing or whatever hate or mean thoughts in your head and heart that you had before you leave be the last thing you ever told your partner. Like that's I think we do a really good job of always at least giving each other a kiss goodbye and saying I love you regardless, whether it's on the phone or here at the house when we leave each other or some because I go and have lunch with him sometimes. Like it doesn't matter like when he's at work. So when I leave and he goes back to work, it doesn't matter. We say it. We give each other a kiss, and that's if anything was to happen, the last thing that we have said to each other and that we did with each other. And I think probably good advice. But really, communication I think is probably the bigger thing to always keep in mind. Whether you guys have different opinions on everything, whether you guys never agree on something, just talk. Literally talk it out. You will feel 10 times better. And I think it works when you talk things out.
I say so.
We have spent many of hours talking to each other and talking issues out, talking things out, and sometimes I'm the only one talking, but he's listening. Or he's the only one talking, and I'm semi-listening. No, I'm listening. You need to find in your spouse or in your partner someone you can talk to. If you can't talk to that person, then what are you doing? If you can't sit there and vent to this person every stupid, small, tiny idea that you have, then I think it's time to rethink that relationship because you need to be able to talk to your partner about everything. Whether it's the fact that I'm trying to think of a conversation that you and I have had that's recently that's so stupid. What did I talk to you about? I don't mind looking stupid in front of you. No, I was gonna bring up the conversation I had with my boss, remember?
Oh, yeah.
How I saw it. No, which one? The fluffy poop.
Oh.
Then, anyways, like whether it's something as stupid as the brainwashing or the fluffy poop, you, as long as you talk to your partner, I think that's probably
That's the key.
It's key, and trust, obviously, but I think communication, I think, tops everything else. Is I think the best advice we can give anybody else. Like I said, we don't have the perfect marriage. We have the perfect marriage for us, not society's idea of perfect. Because trust me, no, no, and it hasn't been easy. Like I know it looks like it's easy because obviously Instagram, you see what I want you to see, but we've been through a lot, and thankfully we've done it with each other, side by side. We've done and have gone through a lot together. I think greatest accomplishment would be finishing nursing school together.
I think so.
Because that test, don't ever go through a program like that with your partner. Please don't ever do that. That put a serious strain on this relationship. Because it's hard when one's not smarter. You're not smarter. You're. That sounded so mean. I don't mean it like that. He has is it a niche?
A knack.
A knack. No, you're in your niche with nursing or with the medical field.
Have a knack.
No. Okay, fine. He has a knack for that, and I did not have a knack for that. I mean, I do, but I don't. I do. Anyways, just don't do that. But we've been through a lot together, and we've survived. 5 years so far. What, like 80 more to go? Maybe 50 more? What do you think?
That depends.
We'll update you guys when we hit 50, and then we'll see from there where we go to 80 or not. So yeah, happy 5 years.
5 years, baby.
I love you.
Love you too.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.